Hello my happy people, today I'm with the beautiful Marjan from the Happy Financial. We're gonna talk about finances and how to get them like more fun and more exciting, because to be very honest, I don't like them at all. It's part of the job, but it's not the biggest or the most fun thing to do. So I'm talking today with the expert and she will share 3 tips on how to make them more fun.
Yes,
so
thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for letting me share my 3 best tips for your finances. And I hope it will make you look at your finances at a more fun way, because that's my motto and my mission from the Happy Financial, to make finances fun and easy. So
good.
I hope this will work, and I hope you will have a lot of info on these 3 finance tips.
So let's begin, I'm very excited.
Yes. Well, the first tip I have for you is to know your worth. I see a lot of photographers, especially in the beginning, who charge nothing or way too less. And in the beginning that's okay, because you have to build your portfolio and you have to get experience. But after a while you have to stop that. You know this is a normal price to ask for an hour of photography, then ask that price.
True.
Clients that will try to bargain or try to get it for free, they're not the clients you want to have, and they're not long-term clients. No. And what's the worst that can happen? That a client says, I don't want to be with you because you're too expensive.
You're way too expensive. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you've had experience with that.
I had, unfortunately. Yeah, there will always be some people who like try to bargain or try to get it for free, but in the end you have to make a living of it. So it's not possible to do everything free. Exactly what Marjan first said. Maybe to build a portfolio, it's like okay, that's no problem, but there has to be like a moment that you have to say, okay, now it's over.
Now it's good, and now we are going to charge money like every normal entrepreneur does.
Exactly.
So that's very important. Know what you're worth and charge that money to your clients. That's my first tip.
So tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is don't be afraid of your finances.
Okay.
I hear a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs who say, I don't like finances, I don't know how to do it, I'm not good with numbers. But really, honestly, it's not that difficult. If you put in a little bit of effort and a little bit of time, read one of my blogs, you know it's not that hard and it's very easy. It can save you a lot of money, because you know how to deal with the taxes, or you don't have to hire an expensive bookkeeper for you to do it. And you get more self-assured, like I know what I'm doing and I know how it's going to work.
It also gives you more clarity, like in your head, when you know like your finances, what's coming in, what's going out. Like a few years ago, I was a disaster. I didn't know I knew was going out, but I didn't know what's coming in. So I always ended up with too less money.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a very, very important step to know at least like what's coming in or what's going out, and to have a little bit more clarity, because in the end it's your money, so it's very important.
That's very important, and it doesn't have to be that difficult. If you have a simple Excel sheet with your revenue and your purchases, and you know what you earn at the bottom line, then you know a lot. So don't make it too complicated, don't overthink it, it's not that difficult, and enjoy it, it's fun.
Yeah, well maybe that's the thing, like people when they think about financial, they make it very big in their head. So maybe just start like what you said, like with a simple Excel sheet and just write everything down. At least that's the first step. Yeah,
that's the first step, and from there on you can grow and build. But know what's coming in and what's going out, that's the most important step.
That's the basic one, I think.
Then you will be okay. So don't be afraid of your finances. That's
dive in.
Number 2. Good. Well, my third and last finance tip is to know when you have to hire an expert. A lot of things you can do by yourself, like bookkeeping. That's not that hard. If you invest a little time, like I said in tip number 2, it's not that hard. But sometimes you do more complicated things with your business. For example, if you're doing business abroad, and that's very easy to do business abroad, but there are some risks, tax issues you have to pay attention to. So don't think you have to do everything yourself. Hire an expert just to check if you're doing everything right, because if you do something wrong with your taxes, it can
be a big disaster.
It can be a big disaster. You can get fines and everything. So you don't want to do that.
Fun. Then it's no fun anymore.
Then it's no fun anymore. So know when to hire an expert. Look at what kind of expert you need, because if it's for taxes abroad, you need a tax specialist for that. So don't be afraid to hire an expert when it's getting difficult, and know when to do it. So not on the easy things, but when it's getting a bit harder and you don't know for sure if it's going okay, just ask someone who knows and who studied for it. So
that's so true, because when I think about myself, I want to do everything on my own. I think like I'm a superwoman or something. So we are. But like you also have to know your weaknesses. So sometimes it's very important to exactly what Marjan said, like to just ask is it okay what I'm doing right now, so to avoid a big disaster, because taxes
taxes can be very
not fun anymore. So
and I think when you prepare your question, when you do your homework, a tax advisor or a lawyer doesn't have to spend a lot of time and money in order for you to get your answers. So prepare at home, like I want to do it like this, is that okay? Instead of throwing a question at
help me.
Then it gets expensive. So prepare your question at home.
That's a good one.
It will be much easier for the tax advisor or the lawyer or someone to answer your questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much for these amazing tips.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome, and I hope these tips are helpful for you and your viewers.
Yeah, definitely. So I will link her blog and of course her YouTube channel, because she's making videos too. So check them out, and for now, have an amazing day and